Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am Thaddeus Bullard, aka WWE legend Titus O'Neil, and you are listening to Like a Farmer.
Hey y'all, it's Pat. Welcome to another episode of Like a Farmer. Hey, we're back in Okinola. I'm in Tampa. There's one guy I needed to get on the show if you're going to be in Tampa. That's Thaddeus Bullard. You might know him as Titus O'Neil, but this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our Florida Gators, because I need a good analysis here. We're going to talk about wrestling. We're going to talk about all the charities that Thad does in Tampa, because it don't matter what TV show you're watching. You could be watching a reality TV show, wrestling, a Jake Paul fight, a football game, and the camera at some point is going to turn to Thad. You've seen this guy everywhere. Every single Wednesday. Check us out on YouTube, wherever you listen to your audio podcast. Thad.
What's up, man?
Welcome to the show, man.
How are you? Yes, sir.
I meant what I said there. It doesn't matter what you are watching. You're always in the mix. And the last one was the Jake Paul fight. And I don't even know why I said the Jake Paul fight. It was the Anthony Joshua fight. It was the Joshua fight, because that was a complete ass whooping. But can you give me the rundown on, do you just like being in the mix? And you know everybody and anybody, so I'm sure you have relationships with these people, but are you just that big of a fan of like live sporting events?
I definitely have a lot of friends that are in sports and entertainment, and I enjoy, like, you know, everybody has their vice, you know what I mean? There are two things that I've always loved, and that's live sporting events and concerts and stuff like that. I just love I love seeing people's hard work right before my eyes come into fruition. You know, I love strategy. I love the atmosphere. I mean, we were both at the Ole Miss game together, you know, a few weeks back, and you know what, you know, that was my first time ever going to Ole Miss, you know, and I played at Florida and played in mostly all of the stadiums except for Ole Miss. And so to go there, and obviously the game didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to for the Gators, but just to see the environment, the atmosphere that was created there was pretty special, you know. And I like that. I think you learn a lot about people going and seeing how entertainment, sports, movies, film, how it moves people. I mean, in WWE, you know, we always talked about putting smiles on people's faces and sending people home happy, you know, and we get a chance in front of the world to tell stories, and good guy versus bad guy. We give a chance to let people escape from their realities, you know, because some people are battling, you know, their mom or dad are battling cancer, you know, or their kid is battling cancer. And we get a chance to gather people around televisions and in arenas around the globe to see what we do. And Drake had a line in one of his songs that says about athletes and entertainers. They want to be us and we want to be them, you know, and it's true. That's why you see so many crossovers in sports and entertainment. But for me, I grew up poor, very well documented, you know, single mother. She couldn't afford to take me to the movies. She couldn't afford to take me to games, you know, even if it was high school games. Like, she just didn't have the money to do it. And so as I got older, you know, there were several things that I said I wanted to be and do when I got older. One was I wanted to be an incredibly great father, because I never had a father growing up. You know, I never met my biological dad. And I wanted to, once I got to the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch in Live Oak, Florida, and then, you know, the trajectory of my life started changing, I immediately said, you know, I will never be able to pay any of these people back. You know, a lot of them I don't know that poured into the Florida Sheriff's Boys Ranch. But what I can do every single day is get up with a heart of gratitude and a expectation of treating people with dignity. And I'm going to pour that out into the world, whether I have $10 in my pocket or I have $100,000 in my pocket or $1 million in my pocket. I'm going to pour out all this gratitude, these people that had conversations with me when I'm just being this ornery, angry kid from the projects, reversing course and start recognizing people's spirit, recognizing that everybody comes from a different place. And, I feel like sports is like one of the best unifiers,
if not the best,
outside of the military. And I'm not a military person, like I wouldn't go fight in a war, but I honor those that are doing it, and those that want to continue to do it, to fight for our freedoms and for our safety. Law enforcement officers, I used to be scared shitless seeing them coming in my neighborhood for various reasons. I was never doing much wrong, but I saw the things that were when people were doing things wrong, and I just saw how they were handled. And then I went from being a person that was running from the law to a person that now runs with the law. I'm very, very adamant and a strong advocate for first responders, law enforcement. I'm Chad Chronister here, our sheriff, is one of my best friends. I'm very close with Lee Burkhall. I'm very close with Jane Castor, who was a former police chief here and now our mayor. I do a lot in this community, and I do a lot globally, not because I'm the wealthiest man in the world, but because the minute I realized that God had a purpose for me, for my mom saying, no, I'm not going to have an abortion. I'm going to have my son at 12 years old. Even though my mom was sexually assaulted, and that's how I, came into existence. It's not my crutch. It's not my perch in which I talk down from. And I'm not a victim, I'm a victor, and that's because God had different people throughout my life that poured into me at the right opportune time. And now I get a chance to do it every single day, in a multitude of ways, those seen and those unseen. And again, sports helped me create this confidence of being able to walk into a room knowing that I'm prepared. I played for arguably one of the best high school and one of the best college coaches. Coach Mike Pittman at Swanee High, 4 state championships in a row. Enough said.
Yeah.
Then Steve Spurrier at the University of Florida.
Yeah.
Enough said. So if there's anything, I've never been on a losing team in my entire life. From Little League football all the way up, I've never been on a losing team. And so being in that culture of winning, even when you are losing in life and you don't have the best of everything. I got bullied because of the clothes that I wore. I got bullied because of the shoes that I wore. I got bullied because of the glasses that I had on that were broken. If it wasn't for sports, and if it wasn't for me being able to go to sporting events or concerts or the movies or things like that, I wouldn't have this understanding of what really life is truly about, and grasp it to a point where you're not going to tell me what can't be done. Just tell me why you don't want to participate in getting it done.
All of that right there, I mean, that's just unbelievable. And it started with you like seeing people being successful because you have no idea where they came from. Mm-hmm. And if you do, that's why you're also there. Mm-hmm. And it's just an unbelievable story that you've had. And that's the reason why I wanted to get you on. I mean, adversity, when you think about this show and what we try to do, it's everybody has these different backgrounds. And you talk about law enforcement, military, which I think is awesome. I think, the people that feed us every day is also one of 100%. Those things. It's hey,
I like to eat.
You own restaurants. I mean, you're a big cook. I can't wait to talk about that. And it's you've got this adversity piece of your mom had you at 12 years old. Mm-hmm. So she had the choice to have you or not. But then what really hits home is, and I grew up with a single mom with 3 brothers, not having that father present. And I see that in your personal life too with your kids, but you also bring it to your community. It's unbelievable. Is that one of those things that you always just have to, and I don't want to call it a chip on your shoulder, but you always have to kind of look back of I need to remember where I came from because I'm trying to give back. Is that kind of your mindset?
No, it's not. I've been saying here recently that 8-year-old Thaddeus and 80-year-old Thaddeus will never be too far apart. I'll never forget how I felt when I was hungry or abused or beaten or told that I'll never be, or told I'll never graduate from high school, I'll never go to college, I'll never play sports. Like all these things I was told as a kid, and all of it proved to be a lie. I'm the first person in my family to graduate from high school, the first person in my family to graduate from college at the University of Florida, and I had a really great athletic and academic career. I was vice president of student government at the University of Florida. I'm in the University of Florida Hall of Fame. I graduated under, circumstances that a lot of people don't. I graduated in 3.5 years. And so I kind of set the table for not only my family, but also the last name Bullard, to make it mean something. Because as a kid, I was very insignificant to a lot of people. And I'm at a point now where success is not my driving force, it's significance. Because success is very selfish. It's, anybody can be successful at anything that they really put their mind to, and the stars align and the resources are available for you to do it. You could be the wealthiest man in the world and pass away, and people will say, oh man, that guy he was the wealthiest man in the world. Or you can be someone that may not be the wealthiest person in the world, but this guy helped numerous kids go to college, or this lady helped numerous women out of domestic violence situations. Like, it's about legacy, significance. Like, significance is for a legacy. And so for me, I've never walked around with a chip on my shoulder after I realized that the chip had pretty much been moved once I went to the boys' ranch. It's like, okay, you're in a structured environment. You have people here that care about you. You're gonna eat every day, 3 or 4 times a day. You're gonna have clothes. They're not gonna be designer, but you're gonna have clothes. Yep. And you're gonna have an opportunity to be successful at life.
I can't even imagine, number one, the states, the cities, probably the countries you've been to, especially when you're WWE. What made you say, hey, this is where I'm gonna put my footprint, even though I'm sure you do a lot in other places? It's just like Tampa, this is your home.
Yeah, so I originally ended up moving to Tampa because I was playing for the Tampa Bay Storm, the arena football team here. And then my brother-in-law, Ernest Graham, was playing for the Bucks at that time, also a fellow Gator. Coming here, and then I was in Fort Myers, then I kind of moved from Fort Myers up to here in Cape Coral, from up here to Tampa. And Tampa was it was a really special place then. It was just different. Something felt different about it. I didn't know what that difference was. And as time went on, I wasn't wrestling with WWE when I came here. Hell, I went through a divorce like 2 weeks before I even signed with WWE. And, but I had always committed to doing a lot. Like, I was speaking at schools. I was doing a bunch of stuff long before WWE was even in the picture. Because everywhere I've been, it's always been about, like, how can I positively impact those around me?
Yep.
Then I found my church here, Revealing Truth. Again, at a time that I was very kind of broken, and not really knowing like what God had for me, not really knowing how God wanted to use me, knowing that I had every skill set possible. I'm highly accomplished in so many different ways. And I got 2 young kids, and I'm trying to figure out life. I wanted to coach. I was thinking about coaching in college and in high school coaching. I did that for a while. And so it's like, I felt like that was going to be my calling card. And then, I go through the divorce. I applied for a high school coaching job at Chamberlain High School, and didn't get the job, but stayed on as a defensive coordinator. And then the guy that got the job ended up leaving like right after spring football. So everybody's like, oh yeah, I mean, you're already here. You were the runner-up for the job to start. Of course they're gonna hire you. And then they hired someone that hadn't won a football game in I don't know how long. And so every time I get a chance in a public forum, I always thank Richard Shanti, who was the athletic director. He's now working downtown and with administration with the Hillsborough County School District. But at the time, he was the athletic director, assistant principal there. And I always thank him. I say, man, you made me so much money for not hiring me.
Yeah.
As I say, you know, there are thousands and thousands of lives that have been changed because you didn't hire me as the high school football coach. Now, you still don't have a winning football program, but I definitely won in life. And that's, you know, I'll say that very jokingly, and I also say it with a sense of to encourage people that may not necessarily get the opportunity that they feel that they deserve. God may have something completely different on the other side. And even with my journey to WWE, I mean, obviously, Dave Bautista has been one of my best friends since I moved to Tampa. And used to talk to him about WWE, but it really wasn't like serious conversation. Like, I just didn't take it serious as something I would be able to do. And I was driving one day in South Tampa, picking up a pair of dress shoes, and I had a taste for some jerk chicken. And we have a place here called the Jerk Hut. And they had a location on Gandy, which is right around the corner from where I was picking my shoes up. So I was driving to go get some jerk chicken, and then I see this black and gold building that Dave had told me about, and I called him. I say, hey, is this the place you were trying to get me to come check out, FCW? And he said, yeah. I said, well, I'm gonna poke my head in the back door and see what it's about. And he said, yeah, ask for Dusty Rhodes or Steve Keirn. And I said, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes? Because I grew up a huge WWF, WWE fan. Like, my mom and my grandmother used to get into arguments about me staying up on Monday nights to watch Raw.
Oh, dude, you kidding me?
So Saturday mornings, like, we got a chance to watch the Smurfs, we watched He-Man, and then we had a choice either to be outside for the next 2 hours or we were inside. My grandmother would be like, once that screen door shuts and my wrestling is on, don't come back in and out that door because it's going to be a problem. And so this is 2 weeks after I got denied a high school coaching job, 2 weeks right out of me getting a divorce. I'm thinking I'm going one path. And then I also was going to go interview for an assistant coaching position at the University of Florida when Coach Zook was there.
Yep.
And literally within 24 hours, my whole life was changing, you know, and there's not one country that I haven't gone to. There's not one continent that I haven't touched. There's not one city in America that I haven't, or major city in America, or even small towns in America that I haven't gone to. There's not one wonder in the world, you know, from the wall to the Berlin Wall to everything that people say that they would love to go see, like, I've seen it. Some places twice. And so, but Tampa has and always will be my home because it's literally where I grew up as a man, and it taught me so much about myself from a spiritual standpoint. I raised my children here. I understand education so much, and public education specifically, so much better because of my involvement with schools. I have a public school that bears my name here in Tampa now.
Yeah, like a middle school,
yeah,
right?
Middle school, yeah.
And Andy was talking, I mean, he was like the technology in there. Apparently you got some workout equipment in there.
Yeah, I got a gym there that I work out at, and you're more than welcome to come over.
Absolutely.
It's a short drive for you. You know, I have 3 restaurants here that you spoke of earlier in the interview with Bulan, Union, New American, and Forbici. And we're getting ready to build another. We are building another Forbici right now across the bridge.
Good.
And for St. Pete, and so, you know, I'm heavily entrenched in pretty much everything that goes on in Tampa, and it's not because I'm never running for office. You know,
that was my next question.
No, yeah, I'm never running for office. I've said that so many times on record, and people think that I'll get to a point where I'll change my mind. But especially in today's politics, and my experience at the University of Florida kind of deterred me from ever wanting to run for office again. I mean, Ashley Moody worked with me who I love.
Yep.
You know, she worked with me at the University of Florida. Nikki Fried ran against and then worked with me at the University of Florida. So many people that are in politics now worked for me or with me at the University of Florida. And so, again, the 8-year-old Thaddeus and the 80-year-old Thaddeus will never be separated too far apart. And the 8-year-old Thaddeus and then the 12-year-old Thaddeus going to the boys' ranch. Nobody ever asked me whether or not I was a Democrat or Republican. Nobody ever asked me if I wanted, if I was a Christian or a Muslim or a Buddhist. Nobody ever asked me any of these questions. Am I lesbian, gay, straight? You know, they just wanted to help somebody. They just wanted me to be the best version of myself, be a great human being. And so I think for me, I just try to focus on helping people be the best version of themselves and holding them accountable. And unfortunately in politics, from what I've seen, you know, everybody's not held accountable. And that accountability is really back to the people. And I don't ever want to feel like I'm above anybody in any way, shape, or form. I'm venturing into Hollywood now, and I can win 4 or 5 Oscars. I'll still live here in Tampa. My house is paid off, so I really don't have any reason to.
I mean, why do it?
Yeah, like,
and look around. I mean, are you kidding me?
Like where we're sitting right now, 10 years ago didn't exist.
I'm with you.
You know,
and I don't even think, maybe even 6 or 7 years ago, you had the back-to-back cups. Mm-hmm. You had Tom Brady coming to town with the Super Bowl. Yep. Everybody's looking at Tampa. And then when you sit back and you just think about it kind of reality, it's like, this is a great city on the water. I mean, you got a river running through here right now. And now there's a lot of people moving here. Yeah. When you think about, I want to go back to the wrestling side. The Batista thing, I mean, that relationship I've heard is fantastic. Yeah. I got a great team behind me, man, trying to figure out, you know, who's that and, you know, some moments in your life. And I go back and forth on this one. I can't find out what date it was, but there was a Royal Rumble. Oh, yeah. The greatest Royal Rumble. What do they call it? The Titus World Slide? Yeah. What year was that? 2018, I think. Okay, 2018. Our first year going to Saudi Arabia. It's the biggest show we've ever done overseas. When you... It was when it was the return. I mean, they had John Cena, we had Undertaker on the card, we had Rey Mysterio on the card, Randy Orton on the card. Just so many legends, right? And the trending topic for months and now years was Titus O'Neil sliding underneath the ring. I mean, every Royal Rumble, it's always coming up. It's always Snoop just reposted it. Maybe 4 or 5 days ago. That I looked it up today, and there was a new video that was posted 9 hours ago. Yeah. I mean, it's every day. Snoop. Me and him talk, you know, about a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, like every once in a while, he'll pop that video up, and so this year was, you know, sliding into 2026, like, you know. So. But I tell folks all the time, it's like, number one, don't feel bad for me. I made a shit ton of money from that mistake. And people wake up, and some people woke up this morning and they stubbed their toe. Nobody saw it. They fell uncontrollably off of a curb, walking. Nobody saw it. The world saw this. And I always say this is a perfect indication of how my life has truly been, where I will fall down and it seems like it's so embarrassing. It's so, like most people will be like, man, I would have just tucked my tail and ran and this and that. And like, that's not even me. Yeah. You know, like it was a split second when I was underneath that ring and I was like, do I come out? Oh shit. Like, do I? And then I was like, fuck it. Like, I'm not hurt, you know. I gotta, you know what I mean? The show must go on, you know what I'm saying? Mistakes happen all the time. And so that was the whole
even with that, you know, we ran with different things, but the whole messaging behind it is like how I respond to falling down. I always get back up. And I cannot be out here telling people that like bad things happen, mistakes happen. There's always a chance to get back up. It's all in your attitude. I have 2 sons and a daughter that like I raised to know that like life is not always easy, and it's gonna kick your ass sometimes. But even in those moments, like you still got it better than some other people. You know, a lot of other people. Yeah. You know, and again, like if that is something that like brings people joy and smiles, and it's always going to be a talking point, but it's always an opportunity for me to minister. Like, yeah, like what would you have done if that happened to you?
That's a great point. You know, there's a life lesson to be learned there. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What do you? I mean, it seems like, especially at the University of Florida, but the WWE side, the wrestling side, Vince McMahon, I'm sure you had a good relationship with.
Yes.
On the business aspect of it, like give me your kind of analysis on like what, because it's people think, I mean, we're watching it here in the United States, but it's like
it's global.
So the new CEO who I've met before, Nick, he like he's done a great job, and it's taken over. I guess Raw is going into Netflix maybe this year.
Yeah.
So when you sign deals like this isn't no like joke. Like this is legitimate business. Like billions, yes. Correct. What are your thoughts on it as a sport, a global sport?
Well, it's always been a global sport. We in the States just as a kid, we watch it on Saturday mornings, Monday nights, Friday nights, and we're just like, oh, that's the, that they don't realize it's being broadcast in over 120 countries. And in some of those countries, they're playing Raw, SmackDown, NXT 2 or 3 times a day because they only have 3 or 4 channels.
And this was McMahon's like baby. Like I think people forget how brilliant that guy was.
I think a lot of folks, Vince McMahon is one of the reasons why you can enjoy other sports the way that you enjoy them.
Totally agree.
When the XFL first came out, how football games are shot now with the Steadicam, the on-field action, all these things, the mic, the players have it being mic'd up, all that was the first XFL. That was the first XFL. Like, players were never mic'd up. They didn't have the technology on the field. They didn't have helmet cameras. They didn't have none of this stuff, right? Vince was, now the league didn't do as well the first time around, but the innovative technology, the way TV was shot, all those things, like, I will tell...
Because people will forget Vince was XFL.
Yes. He's the first person, he's basically the godfather of pay-per-view. Yep. Like closed circuit television. He was the first person to put stuff into arenas, to movie theaters for closed circuit television, and basically help build the pay-per-view model. If you look at anything production-wise, from a live TV standpoint, there's nothing better than WWE. Nobody totally does agree. It better. It's 52 weeks a year, globally. Football has seasons. NBA basketball has seasons. Baseball has seasons. All these people have seasons, right? This is 52 weeks of live television and non-televised events that are being produced every single week. That is a grind in itself. And we're not talking about, we have a show in Tampa, Florida, and then we have a show in Orlando. We have a show in Tampa, Florida, and then we might be in Jacksonville, or we might be in Atlanta the next night, or we may be in Saudi Arabia for a premium live event, and then we have Monday Night Raw in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So we're flying into Green Bay on Sunday and doing live TV on Monday, coming off of a 18-hour flight, or Perth, Australia, 27 hours. Yeah.
Hey, y'all, it's Pat, and I'm excited to welcome Ducks Unlimited to the Like a Farmer podcast. Your hunt starts with healthy wetlands and associated habitats. From the Alaskan wilderness to the Atlantic flyway, across America's Great Plains and down the Mississippi Delta, Ducks Unlimited has been protecting and restoring habitats for nearly 90 years. But their work is far from over. They need our help to reach the next million-acre milestone and ensure waterfowl for generations to come. DU volunteers and supporters have led the charge to fill the skies with waterfowl today, tomorrow, and forever. Why don't you come join the team that's making a real difference? Ducks Unlimited is powered by people like you. With your help, they can continue to raise funds that drive wetlands conservation across the whole continent. Whether you are out selling tickets, securing donations, or finding that next sponsor, they have a role for everyone. If you want to join today, visit www.ducks.org/volunteer. Ducks Unlimited, conservation for a continent.
Like, people don't recognize, like, the travel is literally what beats you down. But the physicality of it, I mean, it's just as brutal, you know? Like, this is a real table. Like, if I throw this water bottle at you, you're gonna feel it. So if I'm swinging a chair, that's a real chair. We're just trained professionals. Falling on ladders, those are real ladders.
Yeah.
Falling through tables, that's real tables. Those steel steps are actual steel steps. Even the announce table that collapses all the time, that shit is not light. So when you see Mick Foley getting thrown from a top of a cage onto some thumbtacks, we got people that get a hangnail and they're out of work for 3 weeks. It's like real physical art. And that's why I can appreciate every other form of entertainment, because I understand the work and the behind the scenes stuff. That's why transitioning into Hollywood is something that I'm excited about doing, because number one, my best friend is killing it, Dave. And then you see John, who killing it. And you and The Rock killing it. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, how can you not be inspired to know that you have the ability, based on not just your physical presence, but knowing that, like, I tell people all the time, if you work in WWE for 3 years, there's nothing in this world you won't be able to do.
Totally agree. And I think Vince built it to way of, like, the sport is what it is. Mm-hmm. But these athletes, wrestlers, however you want to, I mean, you're your own brand too, which is awesome. Like, Rey Mysterio is his own brand. Right. Rikishi was his own brand. Dwayne Johnson, he was The Rock. Right. Titus O'Neil. I mean, he built it to a way of, like, hey, the sport's very important, but you as an individual is even more important. Right. And if you could do that, now you can go do whatever the hell you want.
Triple H always says our greatest asset to our company is the talent. Like, without talent, you could be the best cameraman, you could be the best whatever, but without talent, you're nothing. I mean, it's the same way in sports, same way I tell people, even in school, like, those teachers are doing a job that many people can't do and don't want to do. But without any students, they don't have a job. And without any teachers, those students don't have anywhere to go. So when you start looking at people as assets and not liabilities, like, hey, them damn kids. Like, hey, if them kids ain't in the school, you ain't got a job. So you need to find a way to work with them damn kids and them damn parents. You know what I mean?
That's like, a great point.
Yeah, and in sports, it's the same way. Yeah. Like, go to a little league soccer game or a little league football game or baseball or AAU basketball. Like, these parents, like, some of them are very difficult to deal with. And you're coaching and you're not getting paid to coach. Yeah, and they're treating you like you got a damn $4 million contract and you have to win every game.
Correct.
No, man, this is like the baseline of learning how to be and figuring out who you are as a human being and teaching these kids the same lessons. Like, I get so aggravated with people that they feel like they're great, but you're really fucking mediocre.
Spot on.
Like, most people are very average at best. The reason why I can say that is because a person that's built and framed for excellence, like, we start this interview at 10 o'clock. If I show up here at 10:05, first thing you're gonna say is, guys, unprofessional. You don't want to hear, because you got another one right after me at 11. Sure. So everything is timed out. You're paying these camera guys. You're paying audio guys. So if I don't have enough respect for what you have built and what you're building, and you're giving me an opportunity to come on to your show, whatever we talk about, we're gonna have a great show no matter what, because you're great at what you do. I'm just gonna tell stories and respond to you. But most people will tolerate late tardiness.
You're spot on, actually.
They will tolerate oh, well, he's always late, or she's always late. It'll be okay. They'll be here. And I'm like, no, that's not the fucking way the world works. Like, if you're hiring people, a guy comes to work 2 or 3 days in a row late, then doesn't show up at all the next time.
I gotta go.
Yeah, because I'm running a business. Why are we, especially in this country, in America, so okay with average?
Mediocrity.
It's mediocre. But we're the greatest country in the world, but we're okay with a little mediocrity. We have, when you were in elementary school and pre-K, what were the top 3 rules that were on the board in the classroom?
What would be the first one?
Be on time.
Be on time.
Be respectful.
Third?
Be your best. No sleeping. No bullying.
Be on time would be the first one. You're right.
That's the very first one. Be on time. Since you were in elementary school, it's literally been on.
Be respectful, and
on the board.
But the whole that I will say, and you were correct in this, and I'm sure I would if you were my dad, I'd be scared as hell. So I'm assuming this is but the opening the door for ladies, the yes sir, no ma'am, that type of stuff. Unfortunately, it's kind of going away. Yeah, but at the same token, everybody's not raised that way, so sometimes people have to be taught that. True.
Right?
Great point.
So even no matter, you went to college.
Yep.
You graduated.
University of Florida.
Yeah, you graduated.
Dropped out.
It doesn't matter. You went to college.
Yeah.
What did you study?
Geomatics, actually.
Okay. So say you graduated with a geomatics degree.
Yep.
Whatever the fuck that, I don't know what you know.
That land surveying.
Right. So what would the college be that you would have graduated from?
So that was engineering.
Okay. Yeah. So you graduate with an engineering degree from the University of Florida.
Yep.
Tell me how that degree helps you right now.
It doesn't.
Right. Most people that are not if you're not a doctor, a lawyer,
totally agree.
Specialized skill, this and that, they never use that degree. 9 times out of 10, even if you do get a degree and you get a job in that field, you still got to go through certifications. You still got to go through training. They give you a 90-day probation period, no matter what job you take, to make sure you're a good fit, because anybody can write whatever they want to write on a resume. And then that real life shit hits, and then all of a sudden this guy, they don't work well with people. It's like a lot of folks that I went to college with that have PhDs now still don't have a job because they're horrible to work with. They don't take criticism well. It's, they don't work in group settings well. They're hyper-focused on what they're hyper-focused on. And you can't function in society that way. And that's why I don't even like when in high school, middle school, when coaches are well, if you play football, you can't play no other sport. That's bullshit. If you play football, you can only play one position. We had 27 people on my high school football team. The most every year was 27. And we go to state championship every year. Nobody left that field.
Y'all had some dudes.
Yeah, well, we had some dudes that we had good football players. We didn't have all of the greatest athletes, but we had some really damn good football players.
So you're passionate about this, which I can appreciate. This NIL area, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, because now these kids are getting paid.
Yeah.
You got a son playing ball.
Yep.
NIL's here. They're getting paid.
Yep. And I'm all for them getting paid. I mean, hell, I fought for us to be able to make money when I was in college and won and had a very valid reason. My non-athletics counterparts, many of them whom, if they're at the University of Florida, come from pretty affluent backgrounds. They have a girlfriend or a boyfriend. They can go to the movies. They can go out to eat. They can do whatever they want to do. And when they have class, they have class. If they have a job, cool. If they don't have a job, all good. It's a violation. It was an NCAA violation for if somebody wanted to, if I say I was dating a girl and they just so end up, you know, I didn't know their mom or dad was a booster, but I was dating a girl and, you know, they're well off. They want to take me, they give me money to go to the movies. They give me money to go here. We go to the beach house. I'm staying at the beach. I'm suspended by the NCAA for getting illegal benefits from a booster.
Jesus.
So now with this NIL, like it's okay for me to get money for whatever. It's got to be in a contractual way, but I don't necessarily agree with the transfer portal being the way that it is and the dates of which you got to enter the portal and all these things, because you're hamstringing a lot of people, including the coaches, that are getting jobs and having to transition with the portal. Then you got NIL, and then they have a salary cap, and they got all these things to try to manage. So who's actually really coaching football?
It's a great point, yeah.
In its pure sense, you know, because I can have you on my team for 2 years and develop you into this great player, and then Ohio State says, hey, we want to pay you $1 million. There's no loyalty at that point.
No chance.
You know? And I say, hey, I can't give you $1 million, but I can give you $750. Well, a lot of people aren't going to make that decision because they just hear the $1 million mark. But I just had this conversation with, so if I'm a free agent in the NFL, say I played here with the Bucks, I love it here, I played here for 5 years, and the Bucks say, hey, we want to let you go out and test free agency, but just know, you know, we would love to have the opportunity to bring you back. Well, if the Bucks offer me $10 million for 3 years, and then New York offers me $14 million for 3 years, and then San Francisco 49ers offer me $13 million for 3 years, guess where I'm going to play?
Tampa.
I'm staying in Tampa. No state tax.
Taxes, baby. I've
been here for 5 years. I've built a ecosystem of people that I can call on. I know the organizations that I'm pouring into.
Absolutely, yeah.
All these things. And the quality of life here is so much more better, not just for tax reasons, but weather and everything else. Like, I'm a Florida boy through and through. So I say all that to say, there is no collective bargaining in college football. So therefore, the rules aren't the same. These kids literally can leave Florida, then go to Texas, then go to Ohio State, then go to... So what are we actually teaching them? Run for the money? Or whatever happened, like... But the coaches, it's so much put on the players, but the coaches are just as bad. Because when I was in school, you know, everybody assumed you had a 4-year scholarship, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Even though it's never you find out real quick, no, this is not guaranteed 4 years.
Yeah.
Every spring, you going in and renewing your scholarship.
Yep. But
some players didn't pan out, and it was okay, as long as they were not getting into trouble and all this and that. It just, you coaches had to bite the bullet and say, you know what, hey, we just missed on that one. Now it's like the coaches see a shiny new object over here, and even though this kid's been committed and worked their ass off, now this kid's being called in the office and saying, hey, I don't know if we're gonna have a spot for you next year. Like, why? This kid's done everything right, but because you see a shiny new object out there.
Yeah.
So they do the same thing. So they put a lot of these people put kids in this position.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I want to talk about kind of Hollywood and these new things you're getting into, but before we play a game on this show, okay?
All right. Okay.
This game's called Give 'Em the Boot, presented by TECOVAS. Now, usually when you play this game, you get a free pair of boots. Will you grab that box right there for me, Thad?
Oh yeah.
Now, I'd like to
Clearly not my size.
I'd like to let everybody know TECOVAS doesn't have a size 17, all right?
All right.
But if you
have a 16?
15 is the largest.
Damn it, TECOVAS, come on now.
Hey,
you guys you're doing great work, and you got big guys like myself that actually enjoy being able to find great boots. I like boots. I like Chelsea boots. I like all kinds of boots. And TECOVAS, you guys need to get it together a little bit, man. Especially the fact that you got someone as handsome as me that would have a possibility of representing your brand, and yet you decide that you don't want to go up past the 15. It's unacceptable. But anyway, for those that have a 15 or under, TECOVAS boots, check them out. So let's see what kind of.
But you still have a gift card. Now we'll just have to figure out when you can or what you can spend the gift card in. But open that up. What about a nice Yeti cup for you though?
Oh, I do have a nice Yeti cup. Oh, TECOVAS Tampa. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that to use right away.
A little custom made.
Okay.
So there's questions in that cup.
Okay.
You can give one of them the boot, but who would give one of the boot? Why would you want to do that? Nobody does that. But if you give one of them the boot,
especially when you ain't got a size 17, why would you give them a boot?
Exactly.
You know, I ain't got no boots to give.
Correct.
Here we go.
Question number 1.
All right. Question number 1. What is or was the best behind the scenes moment from King's Court? I would probably have to say the family day when the ladies' families came in. There was an awful lot of flirting by me to one of the family members, to one of the aunties. She was, we had a lot of very funny moments. And the outfit I had on, I looked like an uncle. So I had, long socks, some purple shorts, some come get me shorts, and my arms were out. And so, flirting with one of the ladies' aunties was,
okay.
Yeah, I would say that would be the best one. Who is my Mount Rushmore of WWE Superstars?
Your top 4, baby.
John Cena, Randy Orton, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
The Stone Cold, he's probably my favorite.
Yeah, he's probably still printing money. What is one life-changing decision you made that you will never forget? Walking into the back door of FCW, even though the sign said WWE and FCW employees only, and essentially walking out of there 24 hours later with a WWE contract offer. Yeah, like it's the greatest decision that I think I've ever made on an impulse. Like, oh, I want some jerk chicken, but wait, is that FCW? Dave, is this a place you've been trying to get me to come to? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, see what it's all about. And literally 1 week after I walked out of there, I'm learning how to become a WWE superstar.
When you got your first paycheck from that, is there anything cool that you bought? Like, what'd you?
No, because we were on developmental pay at that time.
Okay, gotcha.
My first main roster check.
Yeah.
My first pay-per-view check. Yeah, I
splurged a little bit.
I splurged a little bit, but not too much because I was still coming out of the situation where it's like I'm looking at, I ain't got Lamborghini money yet, but I see guys on the roster with Lamborghinis and buses and all this stuff and tour buses and Gucci and all that stuff. I have all that stuff now, but I didn't have it when I first started.
Okay, so now you learn how to become who you are for the WWE. And we've talked about it. A couple names have gone straight into entertainment and have done really well, which I think, I mean, honestly, we probably could track who goes from wrestling to Hollywood that hasn't done well. It just shows how good you're trained not only to be an athlete, but a personality.
Be on camera, yeah.
So what do you have coming down the pipeline that you're like, hell yeah? I mean, first off, how did King's Court even happen?
Will Packer, who's he's a $1 billion movie producer, great friend of mine. He called me one day and he was like, "Hey, would you do a dating reality show?" And I was like, "Hell no, I don't." Like, I don't do ratchet TV. And he said, "I'm not a ratchet producer." And I said, "Touche," because he's not a rat. Like, none of his stuff is like that, you know. And so he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll send you a sizzle from Queen's Court, and watch a few episodes, and if you check it out and see if it's something you want to do." So I actually watched the sizzle, and then I talked to my boys about it, and talked to a few people in my circle about it, and all of their concerns was just like mine. Like, bro, I've done a tremendous job of building a brand on this and that, and there's certain things I don't do and certain ways I won't act and all that stuff. And it's like, he called me back. He said, "That honestly, like, if you don't want to do it, it's okay. I just think it'll be a great opportunity for you, knowing where you want to be in Hollywood and stuff like that. And it'll also let people get a chance to see Thaddeus, that only know you from wrestling. It'll give you a whole demographic of a different audience." So I ended up calling him back, telling him, "All right, I'll do it." And I didn't know who the other two kings were going to be. I didn't know who any of the women were going to be for sure, but I didn't know it was going to be Carlos Boozer.
Yeah, got Booze in there.
And then Tyson Beckford, which, funny enough, Terry Jackson, who played at Florida, when I was at Florida, I did a little bit of modeling here and there. It's like Terry, like you do anything outside of football, everybody's going to always try to find something to joke with you about. Yeah. So like Terry used to always be like, "Oh, there go Tyson Beckford. There go Tyson Beckford." So years later, I'm actually on a TV show with the Tyson Beckford. And so that was just one of those moments where you're like, things that you saw as a kid and as a young adult, you never imagined you'd be in certain rooms with people. I mean, like you say, I'm on Netflix at the Jake Paul or Anthony Joshua fight.
Yeah, I mean, that was an ass whooping.
And and at the end of the fight, I'm talking to Anthony for a bit and getting a selfie with him, and didn't know we were even on camera or whatever. But I get a million screenshots or inbox messages and stuff, and it's just like, how is it that I've gone from not being able to afford to get into a high school or little league football game to now going to 11 Super Bowls,
Jesus,
national championship games. I was in Florida's national championship game, the Final Four last year. Like, all these sporting events and things that like I would only dream of. The only thing I have not gone to yet that I'm gonna go to is a World Cup game. I just want to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge I'm not hugely familiar with like all the talent that's in soccer, but I love the environment. I went to a Liverpool versus Manchester soccer game, or should they say football. I went to they call it the real football game, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in sports. And then if you go like to Atlanta, they do a really good job with their pro soccer team up there too. It's like one of the funnest environments you'll ever be into. They're singing, whistling, like they're chanting.
They're locked in.
It's so fun.
And I've heard if you go like over the pond.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it's insane.
It's their football.
Yeah.
What okay, so outside of that, like when you say Hollywood, I mean you got some acting in you.
Yeah. No, I have
TV
3
show
projects
action?
that
movie action?
Yep. TV and movie.
Anything you can tell us about?
No, it's three famous letters called NDA. And as much money as I've made, I don't have enough money to fight against them guys.
But you're going on, I mean, you enjoy that. You're going all in on the Hollywood right now.
Yeah, I enjoy telling stories. And
so I say storytelling is it's what we do now.
Yes.
And I think
everything in life
is storytelling. Totally agree.
They could play the Super Bowl the week after the teams know what teams are going to play in it. But they take 2 weeks, not because people are hurt, not because of we're trying to give fans time to figure out the Super Bowl is already planned out. Everybody knows where the Super Bowl is being played at. They just don't know who's playing in it. So to not know until the end of the year, now you got to tell stories. You got to talk about this offensive lineman that you would never talk about during the regular season. And then you get a backstory about, them being raised by a single parent, or them raising an autistic child, or them losing their mom the night before the last playoff game, or like you're taking time to find these stories to get people invested in a game that has literally already been played 18 weeks already.
It's a great point. Game Day does a good job at it.
Yeah,
too.
Game Day, same way. Like everybody, like fight a boxing match. Just the lead up to it, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, movies when they coming out, TV shows when they come out. Everything is storytelling.
That's what McMahon was so good at.
Yeah,
promoting.
Yeah, story first. And it's like, that's life. Story first. When you sit down with people and for the very first time and you have conversations with them, so where are you from? What makes you're literally storytelling every conversation. Even amongst your friends. Hey man, tell them about that time we went over on this fishing trip over to Wisconsin and we got, stuck on the side of the road and yada, 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 this and that. And it's like, it's storytelling. Every time you get with your friends, you're telling stories. So that's life in general. And so with a platform that you have, with a platform that I have, I always want to make sure that I'm telling stories. And some of those stories that I have to tell are very fucking unnerving. But they have to be told.
Have to be.
Because there are people that are watching that might have a certain perspective about certain things, but then when they see something, they're like, you know what, that's not right. That's not right at all. And then, but you can't get caught up in these clickbait stories too, when you're not getting the whole truth. And that's where we are in society, which is everybody's like, they watch this 2-minute clip and then all of a sudden all hell's breaking loose because you don't know the entire story. Because anybody can be a journalist now with their phone.
What was the, we got to play this quote, Denzel Washington, which he's I had Chad Michael Murray, the actor?
Yeah.
So he just came on the show last week.
Oh, okay.
He was just this past week's episode.
Yeah.
Love Chad Michael.
Yeah. I love Denzel too.
Hey, your boy might be reading a script right now too to get a scene on a movie coming out.
That's awesome.
But Denzel said these days it's not. Help me out here. It's not. It was basically about being first. It's not who wants to be accurate and who wants to be first. And it was like spot on.
Yeah.
And because I think he's one of the most smartest guys on the planet.
Smartest guys. I've had a chance to meet him.
Have you met him?
Yeah, I met him several times, and just down to earth, like, and to see him even now, he gave his life to God again. And just, he's always been a strong advocate for people, and specifically the Boys and Girls Club too. And I'm a Boys and Girls Club Alumni Hall of Famer. And to know that you have voices like that are going out and raising money and speaking on the behalf of kids when he could be doing anything else but that, speaks volumes about who he is as a human.
Totally agree. Yeah. Before we wrap up, you've met, I'm sure, your contact list, your Rolodex, like I say, is probably one of the best in the world. But who is somebody that you've met that, like, literally, and it could have been early on or yesterday, that, like, really changed your perspective on life?
Muhammad Ali. I met him years ago, and it was, you know, there are two people that, like, actually there are three, but from a sports standpoint, you know, Michael Jordan and Muhammad Ali were my favorite athletes. Muhammad Ali was my favorite human because of what he stood for, the convictions he lived with, the morals that he had. He wasn't a perfect man, but he was articulate in what needed to be truth, and he was unapologetic about speaking truth. And getting a chance to meet him, I want to say it's probably 3 or 4 years before he passed. And just that conversation with him was all I needed. You know, they say sometimes you don't want to meet your heroes. He was my hero, and I met him, and it was everything that I could ever want. Then 4 or 5 years later, I'm getting nominated for the Muhammad Ali ESPN ESPY Award. And then I'm the only athlete to be nominated 2 years in a row.
Damn.
When you talk about manifesting things and speaking things into existence, sometimes it's like, even in thought, like, I wonder, I mean, I've been on a treadmill and in Indiana, and this was just recent, like 2 years ago, I was on a treadmill. I was up there for the Indy 500, and
another epic sporting
event. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm on a treadmill, and I'm like, oh snap, the Fever have a game tonight, and I hadn't gone to a WNBA game, you know, in forever. And I was like, I think I want to go to the game. So I like text this person and text that person, and next thing you know, I'm sitting courtside at the Indiana Fever game, watching Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese go at it. And I'm like, nobody can tell me that, like, the mind is not a very powerful thing to have, and to know how it works and how it can will you into places that you never thought you could be in. And so I have come to this conclusion that I am a disciplined disruptor. And that means that, like, if you're around me for any period of time, I'm either going to make you uncomfortable or I'm going to make you better. I'm going to disrupt your normal process of thinking. I'm going to disrupt your normal process of operating, because you're going to be like, man, this guy just, you know, helped 30,000 kids at a back to school bash, and then he turns around and he's raising money over here. Shit, I feel bad about myself. I got to get my shit together.
Yeah, no kidding.
You know, but I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because this is part of my calling and part of my purpose. But I would also be the first one to be like, bro, don't tell me what you can't do and why you can't do it. Like, money shouldn't limit you being able to. The Bible talks about time, talent, and tithes. So if you don't have the money, you got the time. And if you don't have the time, you got the talent. You can mentor somebody. You can go and speak to some people. You could help somebody pack food boxes. You could do a multitude of things right in the freest country in the world. You're right here. And I tell folks all the time, they say we're the greatest country in the world. We're not the greatest country in the world. We're the country with the greatest amount of opportunity. That's why people from different nationalities, backgrounds, etc., come here in droves, because they have an opportunity to develop and live a life that they would never be able to live in their respective countries. If we want to be the greatest country in the world, we got to start off by being the greatest people in the world. Not greatest black people, not greatest white people, not greatest lesbian people or gay people or straight. Like, we have to be great people. And the only time that we're truly great in this country is in times of tragedy. Hurricane hits, you see resources and everybody, the best of the best of people, right? Fires happen. You see the best of people for about 2 weeks.
Or somebody dies, and then you decide to be.
Yeah. And then all that stuff subsides. And then we go right back being the shitty, divided country that we are. And we're not divided. Like, people want to make it about Republican and Democrat. We're both sides are full of shit sometimes. You know, like, honestly, it's politics. Yeah. We're not divided because of politics. We're divided because of people not recognizing what humanity looks like. And the only time some people recognize it when they're forced to. So you could be a racist all your life, and then all of a sudden, your livelihood and whether or not you live or die, you're not going to tell this black doctor or this Indian doctor, I don't want that person to save my life. And that person saves your life. And then that nurse, who's also not the same race as you, who is helping you get back to health, your whole life perspective changes about people once you have proximity to other people. I say all the time, exposure leads to expansion. When you're exposed to something, it's like wealthy people, I expose them to what poor and poverty looks like.
Totally agree.
And they'll say, man, I didn't even know it was this bad here. I had no idea. I want to bring my kids here. I want my kids to volunteer. They need to see this. And the Bible talks about bring the people and let them see. So when you let people see something, humanity makes them react a certain way. Not their race, not their upbringing, humanity. And I want to believe that we have a really large population of great human beings that want to see the best happen for everybody. And I will not allow the demographic of people that are not of that like mind to overshadow what I believe is genuine goodness throughout this country and throughout this world. I've seen too much. Even if you don't speak the same dialect, you don't have the same dress code, you don't have the same sexual orientation, whether, no matter where you're from, love is a universal language. And when you learn to speak it, amazing things happen.
I mean, are you kidding me? This has been awesome. Like, I could literally sit here for about 10 more hours and talk to you. It all goes back to your mom was 12 when she had you. Mm-hmm. You literally went through hell and back. Mm-hmm. You had no dad growing up, and now you're bringing all of that adversity to this world. And I'm telling you, Thad, I knew I wanted you on this show because I wanted to build a relationship with you, but this has been awesome. Mm. Like, I am a huge fan, and I want to support you as much as I can. Like, you've taught me a lot. I feel like you've made me a better person just in this hour and 10 minutes we've been talking. Like, good. Thank you, seriously.
Then me being a disciplined disruptor continues to hold true.
Yeah, I need to keep that in my back pocket on that. Yeah. I like that. I really appreciate you coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
Charities that you're involved in Tampa that you can shout out right now that we can help out with?
Well, obviously my Bullard Family Foundation, we do a lot of great work in the community and we partner with almost everybody. So BullardFamilyFoundation.org.
And then you're hitting all of them.
Yeah, so we support Metropolitan Ministries, Feeding Tampa Bay, Hillsborough County Schools, Pinellas County Schools. Like, we do a lot, and I can do it unapologetically because it's my foundation, so I'm not isolated to one cause or the other, and so I can respond a lot quicker. Obviously my foundation board, they do a really good job of kind of managing my expectations, but also too, them recognizing that like Thaddeus is a person of action. So like if he says he's going to do X, Y, and Z, like the best thing we can do is just get behind it because it's going to be awesome, and the dividends that will pay off in people, and me being able to continue this mission, that's in our mission statement, and the vision that I have for it. It is imperative that like I have that freedom to be able to say, you know, this kid may not finish college and he'll be the first person to graduate from college. I want to take care of their college tuition. You know, this mom just, you know, lost her son and in a horrible car accident, and she's behind, you know, and is on the verge of being homeless. I got to help her get a place to stay. She has a job. She has stable income. It's just life hit her in a way in which nobody should have to watch their child pass away, you know, unexpectedly.
Any events we can be looking out for, maybe like a softball game?
I got a golf tournament coming up.
Perfect. Where?
Yeah. It'll be here in Tampa at Hunters Green, March 30th, 29th and 30th are the dates. We'll do like a pre-party. It's my first ever celebrity golf tournament. So, you know,
I can golf now.
I'm sure you can. And I'm sure you know some other people that can golf.
Exactly.
So I'll be pulling on you to get some people to get the foursomes together and come out and have a really good time and raise money to continue the efforts that we're doing. Like I say, we run the largest back-to-school bash in the entire world right here in Tampa out of Raymond James Stadium. You know, 30,000 backpacks with school supplies, physicals, dental screenings, eyeglasses, eye exams, haircuts. I mean, we have 45 or 50,000 people packing that stadium, and it's all free. So whatever help people can do, go to bulletfamilyfoundation.org. And the work's going to be done no matter how big or how small the donation is, just because the heart behind it is consistent and it's unapologetic. I would tell folks any day, like, I don't have to do 98% of the stuff that I do. I want to do it because it's part of what God's called me to do on this earth, and I'm very satisfied with being obedient to what he called. Yeah.
I'm excited for you. I'm a fan of you. Like I said, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Thanks, man.
And as always, appreciate y'all tuning in every single Wednesday. Log on to YouTube, Like a Farmer, maybe hit the like button, maybe hit the comment button, maybe share it with some friends, maybe subscribe. Wherever you're listening to your audio podcast, too, why don't you tune in every single Wednesday, do whatever you got to do to be like a farmer.
And TECOVAS, I need my boots. 16 or 17. Y'all think I'm playing? I can find out where your headquarters is and come down there and start working with the marketing and partnership team and the distributors. I need my boots, man. TECOVAS, don't let me down. Please.